Good evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back to Southwest Arkansas Weather. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Gonna do a little bit of a different evening weather blog tonight. Just a short little video here going over the data for the rest of this weekend and for the beginning of next week, talking about the elephant in the room, about the winter weather chances, all of that fun stuff. We have had some changes since the last time we done this video vlog, so let's jump into the model data here with this. This is going to show us the GFS European model, and we'll also take a look at the ensembles as well. So let's jump into this. So starting off, most of your day on Friday is going to be dry. As we go into Friday night, you can see rain chances increase, and most of the day Saturday is going to have rain chances into Sunday before clearing out on Sunday. Then more rain chances start to return Monday. Big question here is, with that cold air possibly there, you can already see some yellows and reds and pinks and blues popping up there. One of the biggest questions is, will the moisture make it up here? Will this, if there's a rain shield down here across Louisiana and Texas, will that rob our moisture up here across Arkansas? If that happens, could that lower our overall chances for rain and winter weather? Will the timing match up with the coldest air? Okay. Will the timing match up with the coldest air? Will we see rain? Will we see a mix of freezing rain or wintry mix? Right now, there's a lot of details that's got to be ironed out for the exact information. We're in the planning stage, or well, still in the stage of confidence is increasing or decreasing. Then as we get a little closer, we're going to get more towards the into the what we consider the planning phase, getting to more of the details of the line and other features like this. But as we go through Monday, you can kind of see the GFS is wanting to bring some moisture, mixture of maybe some rain, maybe some just a mix there across portions of the area, and then we clear out by Thursday and throughout the first half of next week. Let's though take a look at temperatures with this. So as you can see, temperatures going to get down to the 30s again tonight, based off the GFS, into the 50s tomorrow for highs, 40s, and then as we go into this weekend, some more rain chances. There's temperatures Sunday, with some cold air coming into play. 12Z. Look at this. Temperatures though, highs or temperatures Saturday or Monday morning in the lower to mid 30s here. So we already have a few areas. I mean, looking at this, we see close to freezing. So there's there's going to be a 1 to 2 degree temperature difference, just, overall on this from what we're looking on data. Where does that freezing line set up at? Where do we get below freezing or at freezing at? There's a lot of details that got to go into it. Now, cold rain looks like a good possibility, but we could have some wintry mix with this. I don't think we see major impacts across southern Arkansas from this. Maybe some very light accumulation at most. Now, if this is right and you got temperatures up here in the 20s across northern Arkansas, you may have a more better chance of some impacts up there. But looking at this, it keeps temperatures on the cooler side and closer to getting above, not really getting above freezing across our northern row of counties, kind of just near freezing across far southern portions of the region, just a little above potentially. And then that brings some colder in there on Tuesday, but that's when the moisture comes to an end. So that's one of the details with that. And then you can see temperatures in the 40s and 50s based off the GFS model. That's something we're keeping a close eye on. Looking at the European model, let's first start off with temperatures. Once again, shows you some very similar scenarios here. Colder air moving in there, but on Monday, it's showing pretty much a lot like the GFS showing. Where's that cold air going to be at? Where are we going to see below freezing temperatures at? Where is that freezing line set up at? That's still details we got to iron out, and that's going to be a big major scenario in who sees cold rain, who could see potentially a wintry mix, stuff of that nature. We'll have to watch that closely. Taking a look at the precipitation, this also shows you that this is some rain on Saturday, maybe across northern Arkansas, some isolated mixes, but some rain through Saturday, clearing out by Sunday, and then into Monday. This is what the European model is showing. Look at this down here across Louisiana. There's that rain shield. 12Z on Monday. There's nothing over Arkansas. And going forward, that rain shield moves over. It kind of cuts that moisture off across Arkansas. So if that's the case, we may see some cold rain across far southern Arkansas, but that may struggle with a lot of the potentially winter weather, depending on what happens or which one of these models went out. Like we said, if we get this rain shield down here across the Gulf Coast, that's going to rob that moisture from being able to come north. And if that happens, that may help us just stay on the drier side with not as much rainfall. But the timing's got to line up with that, like we said. Still a lot of details that's got to be ironed out with that. As you see, colder air moves in, or well, some rain chances possible near the end of next week, and you're going to see all that on data with that. But we'll have to watch it closely. Like I said, though, we kind of have been heeding back on this just a little bit there, just because there's a lot of uncertainty with this, and there still is some with two datas here that show you moisture and temperatures right around freezing. That's going to be a given. It looks like temperatures are going to be right around freezing, a few degrees maybe above freezing, a few degrees below or at freezing. Where does that happen at? That's going to be a big question that we got to answer as we get closer. Second question is, will we have the moisture? If we don't have the moisture, you're not going to get a whole lot of cold rain either. If we get that rain shield across the far southern portions of the country down there along the Gulf Coast, that robs that moisture from making it to Arkansas, and that'll hurt us a lot on that side of things there. Once again, we'll watch it closely. Looking at the zombies, let's take a quick look at those. Remember, these are a little better for your I would say for your just longer range forecast. So as we go into Monday, this is going to take a look at temperatures and shows us on the European ensemble temperatures right around freezing. I mean, literally a few degrees potentially above freezing or below, and this shows across most of Arkansas actually below freezing. Far southern Arkansas just a few degrees warmer. So if this wins out with the ensemble, you can see though it does warm back up above freezing by that morning time or by that afternoon time frame, and tries to settle back in with some colder air. But let's take a look at this as well let's look at the precipitation chances. This is just main QPF, so the 6-hour main QPF. So there's some rain chances possible over this weekend. Then as we go into Monday, look at this. This shows that 12Z time frame where temperatures are below freezing. Not a whole lot of picking up on any moisture, and look what it's doing as well. It's kind of showing the same picture as the European model. It shows that rain shield across the southern portion of the Gulf Coast, and if that occurs, you don't get a whole lot of moisture up here. That kind of cuts off that moisture from making it further north, and that'll be a big factor in who sees what, because that rain moves in potentially a little later, and maybe some cold rain across southeastern portions of the region, but that is what the European ensemble is showing. GFS, let's take a look at the QPFs on this, show some rain chances over this weekend. Going into Monday, a little bit better rain chances on that, like I said though, and then going into the next weekend shows also potential rain chances as well. Temperature wise, let's take a look at this. Looking at next week, Monday morning has temperatures actually a lot like the European model and the European ensemble. Temperatures right around freezing or at it, and it tries to keep some below average temperature or below freezing or at freezing temperatures around all day. If that's the case, that may help with some more impacts in a way. I don't think we're going to get, by any means, this isn't going to be a big snow event, anything of that nature. If we do get anything, it's going to be light, very light accumulations at most, but for the most part, we got some details we got to iron out. I'm going to be honest with you there. We got some details that has to be ironed out. Will we see that moisture? Will it get here? Will the timing line up correctly? Will it be a cold rain? Will it be a mix? I mean, we'll have to see, but I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this. We'll watch it, though. We'll keep a close eye on that. But first things first, remember, rain chances returns Friday night into Saturday. We should clear out by Sunday, and then more chances of rain, maybe a wintry mix into Monday. And then we clear out Tuesday, Wednesday with some more rain chances by the end of next week. But we'll go over all that some more down the road as well. We'll have a 6-day forecast up tomorrow evening as well. This is just a quick little overview for your Thanksgiving, as it is a holiday today. Let's also take a look at the QPFs with the. This just shows the overall chances of maybe of a 1/100th of an inch of rainfall, and shows pretty much some good rain chances over this weekend. Looking into next week, shows right around 60 to 80% on the GFS, but like we said, we got to kind of watch that because I mean that's we'll see. Well, actually, let's take a look at the 18Z and see what that's showing with those rain chances. Saturday still shows some rain chances, kind of has backed them off just a hair, a little bit, but it still shows decent chance maybe for some sort of precipitation. I don't want to run with one model though. I want to look at them all, and that kind of helps us paint the picture. Let's take a look at the North American model and see if this shows up any. I don't think it's going to make it that far into the future, but it will show us this weekend. Rain chances this weekend. And yeah, it doesn't make it quite to Monday morning just yet. But once again, the biggest question is, will that moisture make it here? Will the timing line up for the colder with the below freezing temperatures and all of that? So we'll have more on that as always as we get closer, and we will continue to keep you updated with the newest on that. Big thanks as always to all of our sponsors for making this possible: Patterson's Credit Union, Southern Dumpster Rental, Landmark Insurance Agency, Palmer's Roofing, and J&S Auto Supply, bumper to bumper. Have a great rest of your Thanksgiving. See you back here tomorrow evening Saturday evening for another look at your 6-day forecast and an update on what's going on for Monday. Have a great rest of your night.